There is something new every day. The future feels so unpredictable. Where could we be in 15 years? Our playgrounds may change. Learning may not need classrooms. Robots might help us meet time for more important things. Will virtual life be our new social life? Coming? Don't worry about what the future will look like. Just prepare for it. Fearless plans from Aegis Federal Life Insurance help you and your family prepare for the future.
Welcome to a very special episode of Backstage with Boria with a hero of mine, absolute hero of mine, a hero for the whole country for what he has achieved and the way he conducts himself. So as a role model, as a player, now as a coach, but most importantly as a human being. Thank you very, very much, Prakash Padukone, for your time. Prakash sir, first thing, it was a delight to see you back on court. I was watching every match, not simply for Sindhu or Lakshya, but also for you. But tell me, how has it been getting back to coaching, helping these guys? You were involved, but to see you back on court has been fantastic for me. How has it been for you?
Well, it's been a great experience, but new. This is the first time I'm sitting by the court side, because I've never traveled outside. I've never traveled abroad for tournaments. And this courtside coaching started maybe about just 10-15 years back. Even though I've been involved with the academy, coaching the players, I've never traveled with them. So I, look after more, back home. But, I promised Sindhu, once I started mentoring her about 6 months back, she was, I didn't expect that she would ask me to travel with her also. My initial, role was to be more like a mentor, just to help her in practice, develop all the strokes, tactics, strategy, because my specialty is that. So I was not very keen on traveling, but then she literally requested me, at least for important tournaments, if I could travel. So for the first time after almost 25 years, I went for the French Open and the All England. So it was a new experience for me. It took some time because it's very different, when you sit on the stands and, when you sit by the court side. So initially I was also a little tense, especially the first match, because you got to know the player, like you got to say the right things. You got to, that takes some time. We've hardly known each other for, only for a few months now. So I was also, not sure how to react, whether to be aggressive, whether to be calm. So gradually, I think I got used to that with the, first 2 or 3 matches. The first match when I sat for Sindhu was a little tense, but I think slowly, to get the hang of it. And, then I started sitting for Lakshya's match as well. Vimal requested me to sit for Lakshya's match. So it was a good experience. Learned a lot because it's very different when you are back home. Just watch the videos, as compared to when you are actually there on the field. It's very, very different. You watch all the, minutest of details. We spent almost 2 weeks together. Having breakfast together, lunch together, dinner together, because a lot of things, what they do off the court is also important. How they practice, what time do they wake up, what time do they, have breakfast, how early do they reach the venue, how is their practice schedule, how early do they get ready before the match, what do they do after the match. So each and every aspect is important at that level, at the highest level. All these things, it's not just how you play, it is how you prepare, for the day's match, and how you, after the match is over, how you, if you have won, how you stretch, how you prepare for the next. And that varies from individual to individual. So you have to know the player, and you have to give them the space and take their opinion and find the right solutions.
I met Sindhu in February before she started traveling again. I met her in February for an event which I was hosting and she was part of. And of course, off camera, a lot of discussion was about you. And I was asking her, how has it been? And she was huge praise that, look, to have somebody like you as a mentor. And she was telling me about the synergy, about the bonding that she has started to develop. And that's when she first told me that you will travel. And I was hugely excited. So tell me a little bit more, Prakash sir, specifically about your time with Sindhu, from where you got her to where she is now. And now that she's almost there, she's qualified, fingers crossed for the Olympics. How are you looking at the next 3 months? First, Sindhu.
Well, I think first time I thought about approaching her was about 9 months back when she was going through a lean patch. She played the US Open, Canada Open, and lost in the earlier rounds. I think she had a few bad results, 5 or 6, bad results. And I read in the papers before that, I didn't know her at all, other than meeting her at a few events. I didn't know her at all. So when I read in the papers, that she was, very down and, mentally disturbed, and in the sense, she didn't know what to do. So I thought, let me just approach and, find out if, because I was not sure whether, because I played badminton, almost 45, 50 years back. So things have changed a lot, and some of the players may not believe that, I can help or I can contribute. But so I was not very sure whether she will accept. I said, at the most she'll say no, like I'll manage on my own. So I approached her through, I didn't, have a number. I approached her through Viren, our OGQ CEO, because OGQ has been supporting her since the age of 14. So, Viren also said, I'll approach her and, at the most she'll say no, like it's okay. So, but if we don't do that, then I think we'll have a regret for the rest of, So then it so happened that I think she was waiting for me to approach her, and I think I was, I was waiting for her to. So good that I took the first step. She was very keen. She said, she won't lose anything, so no harm in, getting started. But initially the first first 2 or 3 weeks, because she had already committed to play 5 tournaments, and she was outside. I think she had finished 2. And there were 2 or 3 tournaments more left. And to start off there, without knowing her, without knowing any background, I've never worked with her, what her preparation is, what kind of, because I was not been following the, the elite athletes for some time, because, Vimal has taken over, the day-to-day activities of Prakash Badminton Academy. So I was focusing more on the grassroots level, because I felt, I had enough to do with the excellence part. So I had to start right from scratch. I didn't know any of her opponents. I didn't know herself first, what she does, how does she play. So I started watching a lot of videos, then started talking to her over phone. And I think the very first 2 or 3 conversations we had, she got the belief, that I think both of us bonded and trusted each other. I felt that I could help her, and she also felt that I'll be able to help. So that's how the whole thing started. Initially, it was just to give her confidence. I realized that that she was lacking confidence. It was nothing to do with her game. I said, all that will take, when you come back, when we have a little more time, at least 10 to 15 days, when you come to Bangalore, we can discuss, what kind of training you've been doing, what needs to be done, what are the improvements required. So initially it was just, to give her confidence and, not game specific. So I think that helped her to some extent. But then, after that, she was to, play. I asked her to withdraw from the 2 tournaments, I think in China and Hong Kong or something, because otherwise there was no time for us to prepare, to talk and find out. So she withdrew from 2 of the tournaments and came down to Bangalore. I had exactly 10 days with her before the Asian Games. and we worked a little, more on strategy and on tactics, because she already had everything. So it was just that to polish a little bit. So it was not that she was raw. So I think that was the biggest advantage. So I think that's how the whole journey started, and so post that I've got involved with her. So basically these days, it's a complete team effort. I might be there, as a mentor, but I think you have to take the support of sports science, which is available. And so I think that is one thing. The first thing I did was to put a good team together. A traveling coach, a physio, a trainer, a nutritionist, a mind trainer. Then I would focus more on, and each one focusing on their own strengths. So
Prakash, physically also, if I minutely check Sindhu and she has been a friend of mine since 2012, 2013. I have seen her grow, interviewed her at least 100 times. If I see physically also over the last some months, she now looks back, almost getting back to where she needs to be, because she looked mentally not there. She physically also did not look there. So there has been serious transformation. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, like I said, together. Then we realized the nutritionist, analyzed her. We did a lot of tests, physical tests, blood tests, urine tests, a lot of other tests. Realized that she had put on a lot of weight. Not lot, maybe 2 or 3 kilos, not ideal for, her level of competition. Then, the nutritionist gave her a diet. She was not following a very strict diet. So I think in about a month's time, she lost about 2 kilos, the right kind of weight. It is important, not to just lose weight, but you have to lose the fat, not the muscle mass. So we did some tests, the nutritionist, did some tests every 2 weeks, and, continuously followed up. And, she was reporting what she was eating every day. So I think we've used sports science, we made good use of sports science, and I think everybody has contributed. I won't say, I don't think she has reached her peak yet. I think there is a long way to go. But I believe that she's on the right track, because I think she's feeling confident. She's moving better. She's, feeling better. Like you said, physically she's strong. We did some VO2 max tests. We did a lot of tests, to check her physical capabilities and work wherever it was required. I think, every 2 months we would, even after she came back from Bangalore, we went to Sai, compared, the physio and trainer, the entire body composition. So I think on the whole, it's been a team effort. And after that, she's been able to maintain, I think, her VO2 max, which is mainly to measure the endurance, is good. She's looking fit, and I think she's got the right kind of, she's the right kind of weight. She's moving well. So I think she needs to maintain this. Of course, there are, some areas which we need to work on. I think speed is one of them. Agility is one of them. Is a little. I think that will still take a little more time. But considering that, we've had maybe, I think luckily I would say luckily, but she got injured during the training, I think last year, and then she had to take 3 months off. So out of that, I think 6 weeks went in rehab, and she came to Bangalore around 1st of January, and her first tournament was sometime in February, the Asian Championships. So we got 5 weeks. That's when we really worked on her technical skills, on her. So I think that was a good enough time for us. We hired an Indonesian coach also called Agus, who was, a senior coach who has worked, in many countries. He's I think almost 58 now. So he would be her traveling coach. He would be very good with me. So each one is doing their job. He does the corrections. The trainer looks care of the physical. The physio takes care of recovery. The nutrition makes sure that she's in a good shape. And my role is to just coordinate the activities. And I take care more of her strategy and tactics. the strokes which the coach develops, when to use those strokes. I think that is my speciality, and I have tried to convince her, not just tell her, but make her understand, and to realize what stroke to play when. I think that's one of the most important things, which there's a big difference between when we were playing and now, because there is so much emphasis on power these days. So a lot of the players don't think, they have all the strokes, but they don't use it at the right time, because nobody has probably guided them. They create openings and then play a wrong stroke and then give the point away. So, and my way of approaching was to make her believe, to not be dependent too much on the coach. So that was that's been my long-term goal. To be self-reliant, to be self-confident, to analyze the game on her own. She was doing that, but not to the extent which I would have liked. So made her understand which strokes to play when, with proper reasoning, by asking her questions, and made her realize that if you do this, what will happen? If you do something else, what will happen? So she was convinced that certain strokes have to be played at certain times, so that to the extent possible, you are on the offense most of the time. Of course, sometimes you have to be defensive, but you get more points when you go on the offense. So how to do that? By using the right strokes. So I focused more on that, and now she is more or less convinced. There are 4 or 5, basically maybe 5 or 6 things which we have worked on.
Prakash sir, tell me something. This is fascinating to hear. Absolutely, because this is also a sort of a kind of a mental conditioning rather than only just focusing on the game. And I find it absolutely fascinating, because elite high performance sport is also in the mind. When I was watching her against Chen Yufei, for example, she looked good to me. I mean, Ansi Young, she made a few mistakes, but that can happen. Where are you seeing now? Because clearly you will get May, June and July. After the Asia Championship 9 to 14 in April, and then Thomas Uber Cup. But after that, you have a clear run. May, June, July leading into the Olympics. How are you looking at the final home stretch?
Yeah. I think that's the most important thing. Like you rightly pointed out, I think in Sindhu's case, I think we need to work on her confidence. It is the mind, because physically she is good, technically she is good. So basically, I analyze the whole thing. It comes under 3 different heads, for any player. It's the physical, technical. Technical means your strokes on the court. Physical will be, speed, endurance, power, all the agility and all that, and the mind. So if we were to broadly analyze, I think what Sindhu needs at this stage is more of to focus more on the mind. She needs confidence. She needs, to be more relaxed. And sometimes, that comes automatically, with good results.
Yeah.
And when you feel physically, automatically, you also feel mentally strong. You know that you can last. You can play your natural game without having to that you will get tired or you will slow down in the 3rd game. You are prepared to go the full distance. So it's a combination of all the. One of the reasons why I went for this, was to see firsthand, what are the areas on. Because it's not easy to, make out when you watch a video or when she plays in practice. So, like I said, so many other things were involved. So I've got a fairly good idea now, what to focus on when we come back in the 3 months, in preparation for the Olympics. So my, focus is to concentrate more on the process, and not worry too much about the end result. A lot of people, I think, do the mistake of, that I have to win a gold, and they forget to, put in the hard work which is required. So do all the, the right things, for both the mind, physique, technique, work on the weaknesses. If you have some strong points, make it even stronger, use deception, use all your strengths, and then work on your weaknesses, and the ultimate result will automatically come. So one should not keep focusing on winning, but focusing on playing to your potential, focusing on on one point at a time, and the result will be what you want. So I think, in short, that would be what we would be focusing on, and to make her self-reliant and not be looking at the coaches after every point. So she has to be confident once in a while. That also, I think, one of the things which I don't I don't agree with the present day players, because when we were playing, I'm basically a self-made player. I've come up on my own. I didn't have a coach. So I've never got used to like looking outside, because nobody was there. So whatever I've learned is trial and error. So I want her to be it might take time, but my long-term goal is to for her to be able to choose the right strokes at the right time without looking at a coach. But she'll be playing exactly the same things which the coach wants, because all the preparation would have back home.
Yeah, the subconscious mind and the peripheral vision will work, because clearly if the subconscious mind is telling her to do that, the mental conditioning will be in such a way that she will do exactly what Prakash Padukone was thinking, and that's how it will work. Prakash, there are two final questions. Yeah. I know you have to go. One, 2016 medalists, 2020 medalists. Clearly, once the Olympics come, all of us in the media will put pressure on Sindhu. We will. That's our job. Because in India, we don't have champions. We don't get medals. So when you have a Sindhu, it's a chance of a hat trick. There will be pressure. How will you deal with that? Number one. And the last question, Prakash sir, will be on Lakshya. Because clearly he was also going through a lean patch, and all of a sudden we see French Open, we see All England, and he's there. So what are your plans for Lakshya? So first Sindhu and pressure, and then Lakshya.
Well, I think she used to the pressure. Otherwise, she wouldn't have won 5 World Championship medals and 2 Olympic medals. She knows how to handle. But we'll try our best to to train her and plan her schedule in such a way that she's able to manage. Definitely pressure is there. In fact, the performance in Olympics is all about handling pressure. It's not about who's the best player. It's in any sport, it's Olympics is all about whoever is able to handle the pressure better is the the gold medalist in any event. He need not necessarily be the best person technically, but he's able to handle the pressure. So by words, by deeds, by what we do, by relaxing, by a lot of breathing techniques, by visualization. So we need to relax her mind and say not focus too much on winning, but ultimately you will get the idea would be to get the result you want. And we are definitely looking at at getting the best best result. I know it won't be easy, and I shouldn't be saying that, but I think we have a plan in mind. And we'll also look at the Asian Championships, which will happen next month, and probably 2 more tournaments in the Asian circuit, maybe the Singapore Open and the Indonesian Open. After that, we'll have a clear 7 to 8 weeks. So we have a plan in mind which is not finalized. We'll probably be training abroad for some time, coming back and or go abroad and train, and from there go directly for the Olympics. Not been finalized yet. So, but I think on the whole, our endeavor would be to keep her relaxed, and she should perform to her full potential. So that will be our goal.
Fantastic.
Well, as far as
Lakshya,
as far as Lakshya, I think he's also did a great thing. He also made some changes. We realized that he was also going through a bad patch. I think 5 or 6 or 7 first round exits. So he was also low on confidence. Again, we revamped the whole team. OGQ took the initiative. We met, the whole team met. We made a few changes to his team. The physio, the trainer, the coach. Vimal took over the badminton coaching part. Not that there was anything wrong, but I think he needed some confidence. He kept saying that he needed somebody more experienced while playing tournaments. So the moment we addressed, they are all gems. They've already achieved. So it's not that. So I don't think we'll be. At least I will not be taking too much credit for. I don't think we've done anything great. I think I'm being overhyped at the moment. If they really win something big, if they win a gold, then maybe I'll say I'll take some credit. But the whole thing should go to the team. because nowadays, no one person can do everything. The contribution of each and every professional is important, especially sports science. So I think Lakshya also, it was the same thing. We changed the mind trainer, we changed the training schedule, we changed the physio, and there was a little intensity. He also took a break, skipped 1 or 2 tournaments. We made changes to his plan, and I think he got about 5-6 weeks of good training before the French Open at England, and that was enough, because all he needed was some good practice, and that has given him the confidence. Once I think also focused a little more on his physical parameters, on building strength, and he was constantly sometimes getting injured. So I think all those problems were resolved, and he felt confident. So just a question of giving him the confidence. And now I think there is hopefully there's no looking back. It's all a question of again, in his case also, we've noted down certain what needs to be done, because he's going up to semi-final level, and in the third game he's he's not able to put it across. Just I think he's right there. So because all matches will be tough. You can't expect any any easy matches there. So you have to be prepared. You cannot give excuses, that all my matches were 3 games. So you have to see how you can finish off in 2 games and not get into the third game. So you can't complain that so you have to reach that level, both physically, mentally, and technically, so that the moment they feel that they are playing Lakshya means I have no chance. So that's the kind of the attitude which he needs to develop, and which we are working towards. And hopefully he's playing well. He's confident, and of course, like I said, for both Sindhu and Lakshya, a lot of areas which we need to work on, which we've we'll make some changes on the court, and for Sindhu it's more the mind, and for Lakshya it is more the physical, more of endurance and recovery. I think so. We've noted, so we'll be focusing more on this, and and try to make their game little sharper and less unforced errors, especially Lakshya. I think he has a tendency to he gave away too many easy points, where he was already there, and 2-3 points is okay, but you cannot afford to give 7 or 8 just standing there and making a mistake, hitting out or hitting in the net. So these are some of the areas which we will work on, and I'm confident that both of them will do well going forward.
Prakash sir, it has been an absolute, I wouldn't say this, it's been a fantastic interview. Fantastic. I wanted to understand your mind. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It has given me a clear perspective where these two people are. And clearly, it's about the process. Results will come. It's not about, you can't turn up for an Olympic Games and say, I want to win an Olympic Games. It's about building it block by block, getting ready for it. So when you're on the big stage aura doesn't overpower you. You can absorb the pressure, soak in the pressure, and deliver. And for that, Prakash Padukone will have a role. I know that for certain. I know you were being modest, but that's fine. That's how you've always been, away from the limelight. You don't want to talk. And I had to literally sort of request you multiple times for doing so to me. And I'm deeply, deeply appreciative of you speaking to me. Thank you very, very much, Prakash sir. Thank you very much.
It's not just Prakash Padukone, but like I always keep saying, it's the team, I think, which has to, which will work together and make sure that, they achieve the result.
Not just team Sindhu, team Prakash Padukone, team Vimal Kumar or Lakshya Sen, all of us. It's all a synergy. The media, the fan, the administrator, the government, the support system, the sports science, everyone will come together for the Olympic Games. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll all look forward to seeing the climax, which will possibly happen in Paris. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Boria.